welcome back to my channel. She Says Happiness. I'm Mary Ellen, just in case we haven't been introduced before and you're happening upon this channel for the first time. It is a sewing channel. So I have to say, since Christmas Eve, when I last checked out of my Vlogmas updates with you guys, I have not done any sewing. I have done some cross stitching. That's about it. I have literally just tuned out for a couple of weeks and enjoyed being only mom. And it's not very often you get to do that. Usually it's a weekend only affair because of the structures and the dictates of a work week. And I loved it. And I haven't been in a hurry to get back. But Henry has now been back into nursery the last 2 days. And I left him off a little bit later today because my Wednesday is the day I work late, so I start late, and I start at 12 o'clock. So I actually have a little reprieve today because I took an hour's leave. I'm not going to be in until lunchtime because I have to take my dog to the groomer. So my little dog a few months ago had cancer and had to have it removed, and thank God everything went okay. But since that, I think the trauma has just been so much for him, and my groomer is a little wary of him now. He's 12 years old in a couple of weeks. He just doesn't have the patience for things, and ever since going through the surgery, and then there was further infection because the vet didn't take out a stitch, but the least I say about that, the better, because it makes me angry. So I've had to find an alternative groomer, and this groomer seems to be very, very confident in dealing with older, gnarly dogs who are a little bit more anxious and come with a wee bit of a risk. And if you see my eyes darting all over the place, it's because there are 5 squirrels just playing outside the window because I've just filled their food boxes. So they're having a great old time out there, some playing, some fighting, bit of territorial action. But surprisingly, my dogs aren't barking at them. I think they've actually kind of got used to them and watch them now out of fascination and curiosity rather than I'd really like to catch you. So yeah, I'm going to do that today, and I've got a wee bit of extra time on my hands. So I have my coffee and I'm doing a little bit of hand stitching, and I just thought I would catch up with you and let you know how things are going, what I'm planning on doing this year in terms of sewing, because I'm going to be honest, my sewing is going to be slowing right down, and there is a very good reason for this. I recently cleared out my wardrobe, and in spite of getting rid of quite a lot of pieces that just don't fit me right anymore, my postpartum body will never be the same, and I've had to come to accept that. And there's a lot of pieces that will not be easily altered, or to be quite frank, a lot of pieces that I just do not have the patience to alter. So some stuff has been rehomed, repurposed, and a lot of it's just gone to recycling. So the thing is, after doing that, I'm actually still overwhelmed with the amount of stuff in my wardrobe. And there really is only so much stuff that you can reach for, you know? I could probably dress in a different outfit every day of the year. And I've been kind of looking inward and trying to remind myself that part of the reason I started to sew was the ethos of being sustainable. But the ethos of being sustainable isn't just about making clothes that fit right, about choosing nice natural fibers. It's also about excess, isn't it? And not having excess. So I'm definitely slowing down, and I'll be making kind of like more practical makes this year. So instead of lots of pretty dresses, because let's be frank, I don't need any more. I have so many. I'm going to focus on other things. So at the moment, I have started cutting out pieces to make this, the Oxbow tote. So I'm going to make the weekend size bag. And yeah, last night I cut everything out to make a start on that. And I might have started sewing, but here's the rub. I didn't read the instructions right. Because to be honest, I'm exhausted. I have to admit, being off work as a mother does not mean rest. In fact, it's even more exhausting. You almost go to work to get a rest sometimes. And having a 2-year-old who literally doesn't know when to stop who is on the go like 14 hours of the day, it's a lot. And then just keeping on top of things, getting the house all cleared out after Christmas and trying to make the home feel less of a Santa's workshop, because there may have been too many toys at Christmas. But you know, it's what you do, isn't it? You just can't help yourself. So yes, when it came to cutting my webbing for the handles, I cut them for the smaller sized bag. So yeah, I went for the regular, rather than reading on and seeing where it says in bold. I have really no excuse here. Oh, the squirrels are having the time of their lives. 1.1 meter for overnight. I cut 99 centimeters. And I know it's 11 centimeters. It's not a big amount, but hell does it make a big difference to the bag. Because if you see here, let me just see if I can balance my coffee delicately on my knee. You can see where the straps are. They would only end up about here if I went ahead and did that. So I popped on to Minerva with their next day delivery, and hopefully tomorrow I will get the webbing, and I might get a chance to do a little bit of stitching at the weekend once Henry goes to sleep. But yes, a functional make, but also something completely different. I've never made a bag before, and I think that's what I might focus on this year, is kind of like doing things I haven't done before, giving things a go, but also not forgetting about the functional things, which are very, very useful. You know, particularly as someone with a caravan, it's going to be easy to throw a few things in that bag and get them in there and be on my way. So I'll show you that when it is complete. And that really, honestly, that is all the stitching that has happened. I just have not been sewing, and I haven't wanted to sew, as I've said, because I've just been busy with my little boy. But now when he does go to sleep, and this is the thing, I remember before Henry came along, I would get home from work, get the chores sorted, get the dogs walked, make the dinner, and then I'd disappear into my sewing room, and Simon wouldn't see me until about 11 o'clock at night. I don't know, I just don't feel that way inclined anymore. My life has got a very different tune, and now in the evenings what I do is my cross stitch. So if you remember, the thing I have been stitching in December was this, which I haven't turned into a cushion yet, which is what I intend to do, to bring it out every Christmas. I was doing my stitch along from the Historical Sampler Company, and this came in their advent box. But in the advent box as well, there were decorations. So this is what I've been working on. Let me show you. They're lovely. The first two are actually, I've been stitching last year's advent box projects, the last two that I hadn't got done. One of which was this little hanging snowman. Isn't he cute? And the other were these little reindeer. There may be a postman outside. Might have to pause here for a second. So yeah, those I got finished, but I probably did show you those as I was stitching along before Christmas on those ones. Ever since, I've turned my attention to the new projects that were inside the box, all of the trims, everything that was needed also inside the box. And the first one was this lovely little, oops, let me see, twisting, gingerbread house design, which is backed. It's got gorgeous little winter white pom-pom and a little hanger. So that was that. I really like that one. I like all the designs in the box actually this year. And then there were the robins. Again, love these, love robins. I have lots of them flurrying about out there, but there's one I recognise because I think it kind of like owns my garden. So that's this little one, which is gorgeous. And again, backed in that red and white festive gingham. And then the next one has just been backed on to a little canvas. It's this little snowman in the globe, which then you can display on the easel. So I've got those there, and I pop those away until next year. And then the next one I am actually working on today. So this is what I've been doing. I've been stitching up my Biscornu. This is a gorgeous little reindeer design. Really, really pretty. I don't know whether I'll turn it into a decoration or whether I'll just keep it as a festive pincushion because I like a bit of theme. But yeah, I'm going to get this stuffed. It just took me a while to find the stuffing, but I found some. It's sitting over there somewhere. So I'll get that done, hopefully before I take Gatsby to the groomer. And then that'll be another little project complete. And then hopefully this evening I'll start the next one, which is tiny. It won't take very long at all. It's just this little Christmas bauble. So I thought that was lovely. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. Another thing that I've been focusing on as well is, and I used to read prolifically. So I mean, I've always had my Goodreads account since about 2008, and there are years I would have read 250 books, 270 books. I think at the moment I'm down to about 40 books a year, which kind of scares me actually, because reading is one of the biggest pleasures in my life. So let me just see my books and my reading challenge. How many books did I read? Past challenges. I need to read more because it's really, really good for the mind. Just really good for you as a human as well, isn't it? So yes, 2024, I read 40 books, okay? I started sewing during lockdown, so that was 2020. So 40 books, year before 50. Year before that 50, year before that 75, year before that 112. But like if you go back to 2018, 150, 2017, 207, 2016, 254. So it's like I can easily read a book in 2 or 3 hours if I get the 2 or 3 hours. And obviously I don't get them anymore, but I would like to get more time to read. And I love keeping up with new fiction, but I also love old fiction and the classics. And yeah, I just need to make more time for that. So sewing needs to take up a more balanced amount of time in my life. And it's that balance that I am focusing on this year. So with that in mind, I have been buying a couple of bits and pieces, but not much, because this is the other thing I realized. I have more fabric than I have time to use it. And that's always going to be the way. But here's something that makes me incredibly sad, and I probably shouldn't share this, but I'm going to share this. As most of you know, I work for libraries. I manage libraries. That's my day job. And I love my work. I really, really do. But sometimes there are these moments, these really human moments, I have found that make me really sad. And one of those things is when I get a call from one of the managers in one of my libraries, and they're like, "Oh, this family have brought in a huge amount of materials or supplies for craft, for sewing, for knitting, because either someone has passed away or they have unfortunately maybe had to go into a nursing home, or circumstances have just changed, and this stuff, which to be honest is almost representative of a life. It's so much just needs to be got rid of." And I was chatting to my friend about this the other day, because I mean boxes and bags worth of stuff. Like you could we did fill an office with it, had come in, including a sewing machine, an overlocker, which will get used, and we will put them out there and people will enjoy them. The knit and natter groups will enjoy them and things. But we just kind of like had this vision of, you know, when we're gone, which hopefully will not be for a long, long time, someone is going to have the job of going through all that stuff. And it just, I don't know why, it makes me feel indubitably sad. I just feel sad by it. On one hand, it feels wasteful as well, that all that stuff will just be discarded and maybe potentially somebody will want it. You know, like I have a friend, same friend actually, and she will sometimes just send me these random messages. "Oh, look at this, I rescued this in the charity shop, and it's a beautiful framed cross stitch or something like that." or some patchwork or something. Like, that makes me sad, because obviously family, whatever, they didn't value those and they were just disposed of. And yeah, I don't want to be in that position. So I want to clear my stash. So I need to slow down in the spending as well, which is why I have not been shopping as much as I used to. Yes, Gatsby? So I do have a couple of fabrics, and it's only because it was Christmas that I have these. I was also given vouchers for Liberty, because everybody knows I love Liberty, and I think I'm good in the beauty department after all of the advent calendars and stuff over the Christmas period. And mostly, like, my baseline is Dermalogica, so that's where I go to my beautician for that. But I did get a couple of fabrics, so let me see. Now my pup. He's getting too old to jump up on the sofa, so I think he's just sitting here begging for me to lift him for the 5th time in the last half hour. So the first one is this beautiful dog themed print. I just loved the shade of green. Green just seems to be what I gravitate to these days. If it's not brown, it's green. It's my neutral. So yeah, as a dog lover, I thought I have to have that. It'd be beautiful just to make a spring dress for out dog walking out in the National Trust. Somebody's running, it's fine. I don't know why they're running up that hill, Oreo, I do not know. Because it's lethal, it's like glass out there. Okay, so I've got that one. And then, oops, I've got this one as well. And again, blue is not a colour I buy very often, but these colours are beautiful. So I think this is called Mary Patricia, if I recall. But isn't it just a lovely little print? It's very classic Liberty, isn't it? So I have that. There's 3 meters of each. I always buy 3 meters of Liberty, as it's standard for a dress. And yeah, it'll be perfect for spring. That's when all of my lovely cotton lawns will come out in the spring. So that's me. I'm going to get back. I've got a few more minutes here just to sit and finish my coffee, finish my magazine. I'm actually going to stitch this. This is really cute. And I was thinking also of stitching this one, because I also think this is really, really cute. I really like cross stitching. I find it incredibly relaxing, like ridiculously relaxing. The mind just switches off. So yeah, that's the most recent World of Cross Stitch. But I love a Margaret Sherry design. I've stitched quite a lot of those, and I have all of her books, and yeah, as many designs as I can get my hands on. Anyhow, I'll go read that, finish the little biscornu, and yeah, hopefully I get my webbing tomorrow and I'll be able to share some bag making with you. And I think I'm going to enjoy that. I think that's something I might get into. Also a nice project, because it's the kind of thing you can make for other people, because there's no measurements required and things like that. So I might actually do a few more bag making projects and gift those, because I don't need stuff. And I don't really use bags that aren't Vivienne Westwood for the most part. I've a few Lulu Guinness bags. I do often get a Kate Spade, particularly for work, but I'm not going to make myself handbags because I won't use them. But I'll definitely look into gifting some to people who would. So that will be a project for me. The other thing I do want to do, and this will probably be if I get a couple of days off work, is to make a white winter coat. So I have a beautiful white boucle coat that I love. It just goes with everything. It feels crisp, it feels dressy. And I got some white wool back at the Knitting and Stitching Show from Rainbow Fabrics, and some beautiful, beautiful buttons that Ethel and Joan gave to me as well. So yes, I promised Louise I would stitch something up and share those. So that is the first big project that I'll get onto, is making a nice winter coat. I just don't know what to make. I want something quite clean, so just a nice collar, button down, not double breasted, because I'm too broad for those. They don't work for me. So if you do have any recommendations of just a nice, simple, streamlined, perhaps flared coat, knee length preferably, please do send those my way. I would love to have those and have a wee look at them and try to make a decision. And do remember size inclusive, because I'm petite, but I'm not tiny. So yeah, any recommendations, always welcome. So hopefully, yeah, you're doing all right this January. It's been snowy, it's been crisp, it's been cool. It's the ice actually that freaks me out the most, and I have to travel in it. So yeah, wish me luck as I go over the hills today, because I'm heading right out of town into the country to this new groomers, and fingers crossed he is as good as I think he might possibly be from our conversations and from recommendations and reviews that he has received dealing with old nervous dogs. So I just can't believe I have an old nervous dog, because he just never seemed to get old until he got sick. And now he just seems to be old. But there's still a little life in the old dog yet, as they say. So hopefully there will be more years with Gatsby. Yeah, poor wee thing. I just feel so sorry for him. Anyhow, that's not a good note to end a vlog, is it? So I'm wishing you all the best. I hope you've had a good start to 2025. And yeah, I would like to catch up with you soon. So fingers crossed time works for me and not against me. And the old work-life balance starts off better this year than how it ended last year. So thank you again for stopping by the channel. If you've got this far, you're a trooper. And I'll speak to you all hopefully soon. Take care. Bye.